All right. Hello, everybody. Let me check and make sure my audio is working properly. Hello. Hello. Okay. Now I think it's working properly. So we're doing something a little bit different today. And instead of racing, we are, and just making sure that I'm streaming on all the things. Okay. And then I need to pop out, let's see, an OBS. I need to look for the docs. So for docs, I wanted to do chat, but it does not look like I can do chat. So we're going to pop it out of Restream. And why doesn't it pop out? All right, we'll do Twitch. So you may have to run into Twitch here real quick. Stream Manager, and I want to pop out this chat so that I can at least see people chatting. So anyway, what we're going to do today, something a little different. Obviously, I'm not in my sim rig. I'm in my office. And one of the things we're going to do today is design a race car. Specifically, UMP for the Dirt Track Junkies race. So if you like this kind of thing, or you want to learn more about designing liveries in iRacing, that's the way to go. So I'm going to go in here and templates. I am looking for the UMP, and I don't remember. Oh, right there. 95 template UMP. So I do have probably this one right here is going to be my actual. Open that up. And I probably should jump in my Discord just for the heck of it. Let me go there really quick. Voice channel. Okay, testing, testing, testing. There we go. I've got input. I think I've got output. I'm going to have to destroy Zoom. Okay, so I may hear somebody if they jump into the Discord, which I will send a link for that right now. So my apologies for getting this thing off so slow here, but I promise we'll do some cool stuff with it. There we go. And just wanted to do that real quick. And then, yeah, now I'm in the Discord. I can see it. Hopefully I can hear it. So this is the UMP template that we're starting out with. Now, for a lot of folks, they use the GIMP, which is great. There's nothing wrong with the GIMP. However, I like to use Photoshop because I've been using Photoshop for 30 years. Jeez, that sounds terrible to say out loud. That sounds terrible to say out loud. But about 30 years I've been using Photoshop. So I like to use Photoshop. Now I'm going to do a quick ping here. Just sending out that little message. There's the chat. All right, so what we're doing today, like I said, it's a little different. We're going to design a UMP. I have here the base template for Dirt UMP, so I'm going to, of course, do a save as here, and I'm going to save this as green. So the new design has been green, like you're seeing on the screen right now. Purple and green. So the first one I'm going to do is green. So I'll say DTJ for Dirt Track Junkies, DTJ green. And yeah, that little whoop sound kind of sucks. So I'm going to save this as DTJ green, maximize compatibility. And what I'm also doing is over here I have my sim machine. So I can go in here to content, UMP, and first I'm going to turn off trading paints. Because like I said, if you're watching this and you want to learn about trading paints and doing liveries and stuff like that, this is something that I'm trying to do to kind of help people out a little bit. I'm going to do some YouTube videos and possibly a full course at some point on trading paints liveries. So one thing here, I'm going to mute the Discord because that's what I can hear. But here I can say Dirt UMP modified, hit paint car, and the view kind of sucks, but you can get a general look. Now this here is, get to rotate, there we go. This here is the Meathead Sim Racing Dirt Track Junkies car that I will probably just steal some things off of. But what I want to do is I want the new purple and green branding, right? So that's where I'm going to go with it. So for now, I'm going to take this and drag it over here. And I'm going to make sure and set up my actions here in Photoshop. So I have Save Base is one of them. I'm going to go here, click on Edit. Now, this here, when you save this car underscore and then your iRacing ID number, TGA, into a folder, it automatically picks it up and that becomes your livery on your local machine. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to design this livery, I'm going to push it to the local machine, I'm going to look at it locally and then decide, okay, this is awesome. Then I'm going to upload it to Trading Paints. So let's see how that goes. Now I need to find a UMP on here in my paint folder. Now this paint is actually something that I've mapped onto my sim machine. So I'm working on a Mac, which is why I can't run iRacing on this. But I have a drive mapped over to the paint folder on the sim machine so that I'm able to just save this and then load up sim machine remote desktop and good to go. Now I need to find out what the UMP is called in here and the folders, and these ones sometimes are super obvious, other times not so much. I don't see UMP in here, and there absolutely should be. Okay, so we got Formula V's, dirt, whole bunch of dirts. So, Cadillac Dirt Late Model, Micro Sprints, Midgets Mini Stocks. There it is, Dirt UMP mod. So, what I'll do is save in here, replace, 32 bits per pixel, click OK. Now I can save this, and I'll do save and overwrite. So now every time I hit Apple key F10, Apple key F10, it's going to run this, save it, and voila, there it is in the content folder. So this is what the blue one looks like right now. We've got these factory labels. We're probably going to get rid of those. Yeah, and you can see here that we have some old colors there. We don't care too much about that just yet. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the green one. And what I do is I do a green design with purple accents, then I just reverse it, purple car with green accents, really fast, and gives people two options. Sometimes I like the green option, sometimes I like the purple option. So I'm going to rip this thing over here, stuff that little window, but we will definitely need it later. And I'm going to go in here to paintable area. I already have my purple in here located, but if I didn't, I could say, go here to Formula Rookies. Close this one. Go to Formula Rookies and I can pick out the color there. And that's what I want, is this darker purple color right here. That's going to be my base purple. My green is going to be 0, 0, 255. So that's as green gets. That's what I'm going to choose for the primary color. So I can go back here, and I usually try to keep these pretty organized. So I'll do a new folder here, and I'll name this base, and this is just going to be base stuff like stripes. If we're going to put stripes on this thing, haven't decided yet. That's part of the reason that I am doing this live stream, is I haven't really decided yet what this design is going to look like. It's just pretty much goofing it. So we have base color here. Base color for this one, of course, we'll just do a select all, fill with a foreground color, and boom. Now we've got our green base. So I'll do F10, and then we'll open this up and see what the heck it looks like. There we go. Nice and green. We can do our purple color here. So we can take this hex code out of here, and we can start dropping this into iRacing. And so I can do, instead of this orange, I can just, and see how I just copy and paste that hex code, drops right in. Everything's good. So we've got that purple there. We could do the roll bar, the same one. Wheels, we want to do the wheels. Usually you dump in the hex code, and then you darken it a little bit for the wheels. So now we've got our wheels and our mud covers. Everything's set up. Roll cage. Not sure why the roll cage is blue, but we don't care. So we're going to do save car design. Successfully saved. And now I'm going to dig into putting something cool on here. So I'm going to do a mix. So I'm going to do a mix here. I'm going to do a mix of Dirt Track Junkies, which is our league, and then Meathead Sim Racing, which is our entire league. So I consider Meathead Sim Racing to be not me, but the entire group of 400 plus people that are on our Discord. That's what I consider Meathead Sim Racing. So I'm going to try to do branding for Meathead Sim Racing and Dirt Track Junkies, which is our actual dirt track league. So just looking at this, I'm going to take these labels off because I have a set of labels for contingency decals that I like. So these contingency decals will be gone. I'll put in mine, and yeah, we'll start from there. So as we go up here, you can see car decal. So it's easier to just turn them off, right? Just boop, turn it off. Now we're good. Now, I had a pretty good set of decals on my other one. So I'll go here, livery, templates. I'm going to find that UMP here. And then I can take this one. There's Mutt Cuts. There's a really old one. This is probably the first UMP design I ever did. I'll do this one. Now this one has contingency decals that has Dirt Car, that has Meathead Sim Racing, and NWRA, which is our friend Eddie's league. That's totally awesome, so we rep them whenever we can. Now I'm just going to take this, and this one is in the sponsors, so I'm going to undo that, all that. I'm going to go down here to base and paste it here. And instead of sponsors, I'm going to call this contingency driver. So these are contingency decals, right? The decals that everybody's supposed to have, which of course, just to be clear, in Dirt Track Junkies, I do not enforce that. So a lot of the leagues will kind of enforce, hey, you need to do these sets of decals, these sets of number plates. But ours isn't, we're not that big and official yet, so we don't do that. But we do have a few decals that makes it look like contingency, and this is just stuff that I want to support. So if we go over here on the car, there we go. That looks pretty good. So we've got Dirt Car Esports, which is a league that I race in sometimes, so I rep them. Meathead Motorsports, like I said, that's the set of leagues that I have, Formula and Dirt drivers. And then NWRA, which is my friend Eddie's league. So we've got that on that side. We'll copy it to the other one, and then we'll have contingency out of the way. Now, what's the easiest way to do this? Well, I really like this position. I've got contingency driver. I'm going to duplicate that layer, right? And I'm going to pull this layer over here, somewhere in this area, and just start to rotate it. And then you can see if we go up here to angle, just do -180, boom, and then hit done. Now that's 180 degrees. Let's see what it looks like on the car. I need to take it back a little bit and even it out. So let's do that. Let's make sure that's set. Okay, so I'll just put it right about here so I can see it. And then it looks like we need to take this, and this is an entire block, which is something I merged all these together at one point for this exact purpose. Oh, and I forgot I was supposed to set something here. Here, say okay. Just wanted to change one of those keywords there. People are looking around. Okay, so I'm going to take this. We're going to rotate it again, just going to eyeball it and say right about there. Now, a lot of times you can turn on, if you go in here to paintable area, turn off before exporting task, you can do a wire on here. And so this wire is probably the best option for me. But it looks like if we really zoom in on it, north and west are pretty aligned with that. So I'm going to hit enter. We're going to set it, deploy it to the car, click over here, and now we can see it does look pretty lined up. And of course our wires are still on. But So we go through here, say those ones are lined up. And zoom in here. These ones are pretty lined up. This just needs to go back about 3 pixels from the front, and then I think it'll be fine. That's an older Meathead logo, but I don't really care. Go in here. I'm going to drag this sucker over here. Zoom out. We might leave the wire on for a little bit while we figure out our stuff. So now we've got our contingency decals good. One of the things I like to do is, I check the car and say, all right, they're good. I did say I wanted to move these ones back a bit. So let's move them back. Let's redraw the car. And there we go. They're now moved back to a place where you'd probably see a contingency decal. Now, the next thing I need to do, drag this over. I want to come up with a base design. And a base design, it's going to use the same 2 colors. So we're obviously going to use this very light purple and something, but I like to take the pattern. So I've got the contingencies right where I want them. Probably not going to change it. So I can merge those layers together, keep them here in base. I don't know what layer 1 is. Nope, no pixels. Layer 1 is nothing. So I'm just going to delete that. But now I've got my contingency decals. So we're good in that department. Now, what we can do is zoom in. And what I like to do, and so this is part of the reason that I'm doing this, is I kind of want to show you all some of the cool stuff that I've learned from doing these things over the last year, and just try to share them with everybody. So the car patterns, what I like to do is I'll find a car pattern. And so this one's kind of crap. That one's a little weird. But I can just go through here, and if I just do the F10 and deploy, then I can see what that pattern looks like. And what I do is I'll take these patterns and then just do color replacements on there with the colors I want to implement them in. So I will show how I do that. Not with this design though. This one kind of sucks. So this one's cool. I've used this one before with UMPs. Stripe. Stripe is interesting. Let's see what that looks like. Let's do a quick render. Render deploy. Here's the stripe. I kind of hate it a little bit because I think maybe the purple, I don't know, that stuff probably won't really go that well on there. The purple and green across here. So I'm going to look at other options. What's the next one? There's this one. This one could be kind of cool, especially if you have something really clever to put in here. Then we could do that purple dash across there and then something in here. But I kind of like this. This one traditionally has been a little bit difficult to work with, but it does produce kind of a cool design. Actually, let's deploy that. So you can see this is what it comes out with for design. So it's under consideration. We might do it. We have to come up with different color variants to stick with our color patterns that we're doing. So it can get a little weird from there. Because like I can take this and say the base right now is red. I can keep that base as green, but then I have to come up with a purple that's color, close to this color, and then a little bit darker, and then a third color. And yeah, this one probably won't work, but I have made some cool ones with this pattern for sure. This pattern's all right, kind of the same thing. Got to come up with another color. And those lines are kind of boring. These ones, the gradients, I never mess with. Like this one, I just don't mess with this one very much. Even though this one kind of looks cool. on its own. So take a look over here. You can see, you know, that's kind of cool. I like that flag thing. We could probably do that and then change this to a purple or something. But I don't know. That's on my short list of stuff to do. So let's remember pattern 10. Pattern 11, really busy. Not a huge fan. This one's kind of cool if you cut some of these tiger stripes out. It's kind of cool. I think I'm going to try the checkered flag thing. This one's kind of cool too. I mean, this one ends up looking decent. This one I don't know how to use properly, so let's go back to 10. I believe it was. Now, here's what we do for this pattern. Is what I'll do is I'll copy this pattern that we're on right now. So, moving this over where I can see it. So I'm going to copy the pattern, make a copy, or whatever. However you want to do it. Control C, Control B. Oh, that was pattern 8. I want pattern 10. And then I'll just take this and I drag it down here to my base. And then we can turn the car patterns folder completely off at that point. So now we're looking at this pattern, well, a copy of it. The green is actually already set in this case. So here, a lot of green. Let's see what it looks like right now. A lot more red on there than I would have thought. So for the red, I'm thinking of just taking it out. So we'll remove it. That'll put the green, bring the green back up. So I'm going to turn the wire off, because when you do select by color and you have wire on, it will select the wires. A little weird. And we're going to do a select. By color range, we're going to select red, fuzziness. This one, ooh, it does remove a lot of that, doesn't it? So probably, let's see around here. Then of course we just delete it. And we'll F10 and see what this looks like. Voila, there we go. So we've still got some red in there. I don't know how. We can rip that stuff completely out though. Maybe we could rip these out and then make this a solid line. And could do that with like purple, something like that. But this could be kind of a cool design if we do it right. And I'll just rip those gradients out of there because I don't really care that much for them. So as we go through here, we're in our car pattern. And we've got some red here. And like I said, I don't really like those gradients. So you can take a magnetic wand. And this kind of sucks. And it takes time. But go in here with the car pattern layer highlighted. And just go through, and I already messed it up. Sometimes it's better to take small steps. Go through here. Take this and delete it. Then we can go back to a regular lasso, trim out all these little pieces. I still see some red in there. Obviously there's red over here for like a roll bar color. But yeah, for the most part we got rid of it. Now this blue is going to have a whole other issue. Deal with, but because we're going to turn this blue to purple. Not really sure what that'll do with the reds yet. So I'm just going to try to get rid of as many reds as I can. So if you like this kind of thing, I do drive on here, of course, for the majority. But I'm going to start doing these livery designs on here and teaching people how to do that. So if that sounds cool to you, you should follow me. So that's pretty cleaned up for that one. I need to do this one. And I almost want to go in and select red again. I mean, let's try it. What the heck? Let's try zooming out. And we'll just do another red select and see if we can get rid of some of that garbage. So we're going to select, color range, let it sniff this one. And it's not really finding what I'm looking for, because I got to get the fuzziness down to, yeah, that's not really going to help a lot. But I mean, I'll delete it. Oh, that screwed it up. Okay, so we'll just take our time here and do it this way. So I just need to cut these out of here. And like I did before, we'll do a magnetic lasso, zoom in. This is part of the reason I like using Photoshop for this. I mean, the GIMP is fine, it's great. And there are people that do better designs than I do with GIMP. But Photoshop just has a lot of these weird little tricks that are neat. So that's how I'll delete that. I can see a darker piece. I can probably, yeah, just magic wand that sucker. And some of this, I'll just take the lasso tool and just do a little trimming. These two lines I'll probably get rid of. Let me zoom out and see. Oh yeah, definitely. So I've got this one cleaned up, and I'm going to make this one solid blue. And of course, eventually it's going to be purple, but I want to make it like a solid line across here. So let me just remove these bottom lines. And this is how I think you should use these patterns, you know, like take the pattern but make it your own. Since we have this really cool checkered flag design, you know, you might as well use it. So there's a lot of weird red pieces in there. Nobody's going to see it going down the track, right? So I'm not incredibly worried about it. Let's go to magnetic lasso and just magnet our way down here. Magnet our way down here. And let's close it up just for fun. Small steps. That's what I'm learning is best. You know, if you try to get too big with this, you end up ruining the whole thing. All right. So not perfect, but we're getting there. There's a little more gradient that I want to get rid of. Of course, this second one. So I'm going to see if I can rip across here, jump over here, jump down here, go all the way across. Okay, that was a pretty big batch. I was saying to take small steps, but then we'll just take our regular lasso tool, clean up some of these little artifacts. Not a big deal. Actually, we'll magic wand that sucker because that one, and then there's that one. You can see a little bit of BS in there. Here's some other red artifact lines that I just want to get rid of. And yeah, this kind of sucks. It's time consuming. It's tedious. It's boring. But if you're going to get great designs, that's pretty much how you have to approach it. So now we've got this stuff here cleaned up. I need to bring this down below the contingencies. There we go. And then I can kind of look at it and say, yeah, I don't like that black. So I'm going to take that black out of there. Let's see how far the magic wand gets me. Boom! However, as you can see, the black has to stay. Because when I delete that, it comes off of the checkered flag thing that I like so much. So, this is where it sits right now. Now I'm going to do a deploy. Boom! That looks pretty good. Let's turn that blue purple and just quit messing with it. And then we'll come over to this other side and we'll remove these gradients. I think I'm going to make this a solid purple. So we'll go down here. And let's just turn it purple already. So we've got our color. We're going to do select, color range, and just grab this blue. Now this one we might want to spread it out a little bit. Say okay. And then with this, we just fill with our background color. There we go. Now we have our purple. I'm going to F10, go through here, and there we go. So with this side and this side, you know, we have this checkered flag, which I really like the checkered flag design. That's pretty much the only reason I'm keeping it. Oh, we had someone in the chat. Sorry about that. Thank you for the follow. Totally appreciate that. For sure. I need to add a little more fresco here. So, this looks great. Thank you, Carson, for the follow. I will follow you right back. Especially if you're doing cool stuff. So, thank you so much. Sorry I didn't see the chat there and what was going on. But here we go. So, I kind of want to put a darker purple gradient in here. But for now, I'm going to fill this thing in with purple, and then we're going to call this side done. We're going to put a good Meathead Sim Racing logo on here. Like I said, Meathead Sim Racing is what I call our entire league, our entire Discord server. Within Meathead Sim Racing, we're all meatheads. Within Meathead Sim Racing, we have Formula Rookies and Dirt Track Junkies. So those are two leagues. This is for the Dirt Track Junkie League. I'm going to put that logo right here because that's what I'm repping with this. And yeah. So that kind of explains what we're doing, and I'll pay a little closer attention to the chat. I need to save this thing, for sure. Now I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to do the exact same thing I did before. I'm going to try to snag these gradients, rip them out of here. We're going to do that with a magnetic lasso tool that already screwed up on me. This magnet thing's cool. It's been around for more than 20 years. And it was invented by a kid here in Oregon. I say kid, but it was like a college intern from Oregon. I don't like that. Let's see if I can shift the lasso a little bit. Nope. Okay, we'll try again. Like I said, small steps. Anyway, it was an intern college student here in Oregon that first came up with the magnetic lasso tool. And then went on to have awesome career. So let's just take this all the way down this line. Stop there. We'll go all the way down this line. Over here, and then just slowly come back. And yep, just removing the gradients here. That. Do this magic. There we go. Magic wand, and then we have a little bit of BS down here that I don't know what I'm really supposed to do with. Just gonna make it green. We'll do a little tiny bit of lasso work here. And I might throw a stroke over the purple because a stroke can hide a lot of things, like this blue and red that we have mixed in here. A good stroke can hide that, so we might go that direction. I'm going to go in here and remove this little gradient. Gradient, I'm going to say it different every time I say it. But it's a word that I have read more than I've heard. So, I don't know how most people say gradient. Okay. Delete that. And like I said, this stuff doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes I'll get a little too detailed with this stuff for things that nobody's ever going to see. Like they're never going to see it. Even if they download your livery and race it and then look at it up close, they're not going to see some of the detail stuff. So I'm doing a little here and there, but for the most part, this stuff doesn't matter. Like these lines aren't super congruent. They don't really match up great. Who cares? Like nobody's going to see it at this far away, ripping around the track. But I do want to take the gradients out because those can be seen. Stevie Wonder can see these things on the side of the car. Now I'm going to do the magnetic. You know, and if I was really good with the lasso, I would use the polygonal lasso or just freehand it, free ball that sucker. Some people do that and they're really good at it. All right, that gets rid of that. I'm going to fill this in, which is something that I wanted to do on the other side and I did not. This one doesn't have to be super exact because it's a fill. Over here, we probably want that to be a little bit okay. So let's walk this back a little bit here. Undo the lasso. Undo the clear. Why, you might ask? Because I want to get a little detailed with the corner. So with this, I basically want to have this line right here. In order to do that, what I can do is zoom in really close. And instead of deleting this gradient, I might fill. So to fill it, we can do something like a brush tool. Take the brush tool, rip it down to a pixel, and try to use something dark. And, whoops, I'm not on the right layer. There we go. Let's use something dark to rip down it here. And again, this does not have to be perfect. Now I should be able to go in here, magnetic lasso. Do the whole freaking, oops. Well, that's fine. We're doing a fill, so It actually doesn't need to be great. And then we'll go right along this line, right along this line, this one. Now we've got to select, and we're just going to do a fill. So we'll do fill. We'll pick this color. Boom, there we go. Just have a couple of things to lasso here. As you can see, some of our lines are a little, and I could have done an expand on that and just expanded it 2 pixels or whatever, but it's fine. We'll just take this, same thing as before, fill with a color, and boom, we've got that. Let's see what it looks like on the car. So we haven't done a deploy for a while. There we go. We've got the purple down there. Looks like there's a little section there that I got to get rid of, and then that one will be consistent. Fill in this with purple. We're done. Do it on both sides. Good to go. I have no idea why I did that, but actually that's right. That was originally a part of the design. So let's go in here and select right along here. I don't care how straight this is. It's all going to kind of clean up and look roughly what it is. So we've got that one filled in. Now we just need to fill this one in. And then our design's done. Then we just throw a couple logos on there. Life is good. Let's fill this one. We're going to use a magnetic lasso tool. And like I said, instead of the delete, we're going to do a fill. Just trying to lay it along here as best I can. Couple areas I got to get. Then we just take this one, same thing as before. Fill it with color. And then, of course, as you can see, this one's kind of fragmented. I'll just do a freehand lasso. Oops. The only thing I don't like about using these patterns is you see the red artifacts in there when you zoom in, and you see all these different colors of artifacts that are really hard to get rid of. Oops. And why is it still artifacting on the outside there? That should not be doing that. Let's see, I'm going to select this one. We're going to get rid of these silly lines. We're going to do Shift F5 to fill. Color. That one came out fine. So let me just select these. Whoops. Yeah, we got blue in here. We got red. It's just looking terrible. But like I said, nobody on the track is going to notice it. Let's just fill this stuff up. And I could go through here and do a lot of vector drawing and stuff like that, and draw out all these shapes and stuff, but yeah, it sounds like a lot of work right now for this particular design. So I'm just going to do a quick select here. We're going to get that because that looks like it shouldn't be here. Delete. Okay, now we've got that. Let's deploy it. There we go. We've got a solid line here, solid line there. We just need to do the same thing back here, just a little bit differently, but there we go. That gives us some room. That gives us some decals. Swappable color. My roll bar color is still blue. We'll change that. But yeah, it's starting to look kind of cool, right? Let me make sure and save it. And this one's doing a ton of work. Like this, this layer down here, this car pattern, just doing a ton of work. But here, I think I can take this one. No, I can't. Never mind. There. It's a little off center. So here, I'm just gonna have to freehand draw this. I mean, I can do this square thing. I can start right here. Here. And then fill that with color. And that will kind of enclose things where I want them to be. Because I'm just going to do a fill. This one here is what I have to freehand, theoretically. Unless, let's see what kind of wire we can put on there. Yeah, we could do a wire across there. So again, we're going to do magnetic lasso tool. And just do one quick thing where we bind against the wire. Enter. And I'll take this and push it back 1 pixel. Shift F5. Boom. We got ourselves something. We can turn off the wire now. And now we have an enclosed area for which to use the magic wand. We'll take that and I'm going to expand it by 3 pixels. And then we're going to fill this. All right. F10. Deploy. Let's see what it looks like. Got down here. Big one. Probably should put a sticker in there because it seems like a big weird gap. But got that, and then I just want to do that stripe across the top. Talk about roll bar color. It is right there. Let's fix that, because that is kind of... Or actually, let's not get off task. Let's finish the body lines. Because once we get this finished, we're getting really close to just swapping logos on it and sending it. Oh, and I probably should show you all how I do spec maps. But here, I'm going to take this just so I have this nice little line. Take this around. Enter. Got to make sure I'm on the right one. Car pattern. And then we're going to fill it. And there we go. Now I just have to go back here. Do the same thing. Boom. So I'll turn the wire off because the wire does affect some of that stuff. And then I'm going to magic wand this one. We're going to expand it 3 pixels and then fill it. And then boom, we're good. We'll do an F10. And now we can see here, we've got that full going back. And I might throw a gradient in there. I don't know yet. might make it more interesting, but we've got it here too, where it goes full down here through the back. Through the back. We've got the checkered flag going through. Cool looking design. So I'll save this. And now we've got a pretty good base design for this thing. Like I said, we just got to throw logos on it. But we're going to go through here, contingency copy. We're going to rename this to body lines. And that's just my thing, basically. Rename layer. There we go. Body lines. So keep it all in here. Now we have here roll bars. Boop, boop. I could actually just turn roll bars off, I think. Deploy it. And voila, we have purple roll bars, which is what I wanted. So that's cool. Purple roll bars. Tires. I mean, I think we've got a pretty good purple to green thing going here. For the most part. So now that that's saved, we want to look at Dirt Track Junkie and Meathead Sim Racing logos. So I've got Formula Rookies, obviously now. I'll probably put a Meathead Designs, but what I want to do here is I want to open this. We're going to go into livery, common files, purple. This is where all of the purple themed stuff is. That's what I was looking for right there. There's our Dirt Track Junkies logo. So we can select subject. Copy it. We'll go back over here. Boom. Thing is huge. But I'm kind of thinking, and I got to turn on that wire again so I can see where the wire is. And I'm kind of thinking, see if we F10 this sucker. I want it to go pretty big. I want Dirt Track Junkies to be deselect. I want this to be pretty big on like the hood. 90 degrees. But I want it to be like as big as it can be on this hood. So we'll look at this and you can see right there. I need to lift it up just a little bit. And roll bars are green now. I don't know why. We'll find out. But I need to lift this up just a bit. And then I think it'll be perfect. So maybe, yeah, about there. Now that's what it looks like on the front of the car. Dirt Track Junkies. Very clear. Good to go. We'll do Meathead Sim Racing up here, I think, but let's figure out what happened to the roll bar. Over here, something happened to the roll bars. So we'll go up here. 2 roll bars. And we're just going to do a fill color on that one. Still blue. So now I have to figure out why I turn off the roll bars. There's still some weirdness there. Oh, that's from the wire. Okay. That makes sense now. All right, so here's what the car looks like now. Pretty cool. We've got Dirt Track Junkies right there on the front. No mistake. And then back here, I think we'll put another Dirt Track Junkies down here and a Meathead up here. And then I think it's great, right? It's not a big deal. And then at a certain point, of course, so I'm going to put right here DTJ hood, just to let me know that's the hood logo. I'm going to copy it, pull it down here. Oh, look at that. That's perfect. Let's see what it looks like on the car. Here's what it looks like on the car. The part that most people are probably going to see is that right there. There's a nice Dirt Track Junkies. Just needs to go up a little bit. And then I want to take this copy and make a copy of it and drag it over to the other side, which these cars are not symmetrical. So as you can see right there, dragging it up directly doesn't help you because, yeah, the bodies are not symmetrical. So, but that's fine. We're going to go here, rotate this thing 180, shrink it down a little bit. So I'm going to hit enter, rotate. Here we'll do negative 180. 180, not 80. And then we will shrink it down a little bit. Let's see what that looks like. Do F10 to deploy. Now it looks good. This is a side that nobody will ever see, but unless I go on the track, but yeah. So that gives us a lot of Dirt Track Junkies branding, if that's something that we decide we care about. So now I want to do Meathead Sim Racing. So I'm going to do open, purple, and then we just kind of go through these. There we go, Meathead Sim Racing. I think that's the one. So that's, do I do this, which is text, or do I do this, which is, I think I'm going to do this one because it's more interesting. And actually, since we're doing this one, I could just grab the green one. There we go. Instead of this one. Grab the green one, select all, copy. And this is just a little bit darker green, but see what this looks like on the side of the car. Yeah, Meathead logo. That's, I don't know. Let's look and see what the other one would look like. Lettering. This one. Maybe it will look better. I don't know. So I'm going to go here. I have this here, and then we're just going to post this. And then we'll turn off this one. Let's deploy it. There we go, Meathead Sim Racing. So it just needs to be shrunk down a little bit, and then I think it'll be fine. I think it'll look better than the alternative. Meathead Sim Racing, I'll bring it down a little bit, and then, yeah, copy it to the other side. So save this, do copy, paste. Over here, again, they're not symmetrical at all. So I'm just going to kind of guess. Here, enter, deploy. Let's see what it looks like on the car. Not too bad. Just need to shrink it up, move it forward. And then I think we're good. We've got Dirt Track Junkies. So this one just needs to go down a little bit and forward. That's perfect. So now we've got a car with all our contingency decals. Not going to put Meathead Design, but I could do in memory of good old Russ. Without him, none of this would be happening. So these are in memory of, and I'm going to put them on the purple part. Put one there. One there. And get that stupid thing out of here. I think these are, oh yeah, they're not fontable anymore. So I think that'll work. Now I want to throw a clear coat on this thing. And yep, all this stuff looks good. And yeah, I'm going to throw a clear coat on this. Now the way I do that is, so I save the file, right? Completely save the file. And then I'll go up here to Actions. First, we'll turn this off. We'll turn this off. Go to our custom spec map, and I'm going to use Blue Channel. So with blue, I'll probably do one line over here. I'm going to do a fill, color, pick blue. Now here you can do 0, 0. And then for this, I've been finding like 18. Pretty good. So let's try 18. Save. And I just want to go to Save Spec Mac here, and I'll edit this. And instead of going to the Spec Racer, like we were before, we're going to go to our UMP. Dirt UMP mod. So select that, car spec underscore with my iRacing ID means boom. Now we've got some clear coat. And so you can kind of look on the edge here. You can kind of see, but yeah, it looks real good at night. Got some glow going across there. I consider this thing done. So, one thing I will do is I will turn this off and we'll do a reverse. So I'm going to save this. File, save, make sure this is good to go. And then I'm going to do save as DTJ purple. This will make a purple version of the car. And that, of course, is pretty easy to do. We go down here, select base color, fill. Oh, that's right, we did a different color. So we're going to do fill, background color. Boom. Now it's purple. However, we've got to do some swapping with these body lines. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to turn this off. And then we're going to say select color range. We're going to select that purple, hit OK. And as you can see, I need to turn those two off before I do that again. Then select by color range. Why is it not coming up? So we're going to body lines, select color range. It's going to be this purple, right? Okay. And then we need to make that green. So we're going to do our foreground color. We're going to go green, and this one is going to be absolute green, 0, 255, 0. So now we're going to do fill, foreground color. Then we can turn that base color back on, and look at that. We've got green over purple. Let's deploy it. And there we go. So now you've got a base purple car with green accents, and you could green up the color there. There's our logos are still good. So we just turn on the in memory of again. And this car's done. I don't want to say easy as that, but I mean, it's pretty easy. So here's our Dirt Track Junkies logo. Here we can see instead of the roll cage being purple, it is now green. We could probably make these insides here purple, but I don't think it matters that much. This is what most people will see on your cars right here. That's what they're going to see because you're going to be kicked sideways in that slip angle, and that's how it is. Well, we're good here. I want to say thank you to everybody for watching. I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. I just wanted to show you some of my process and some of the ways that I design cars. So again, thank you all for coming, and we will be racing on Thursday night. Check out this URL. There we go. This one, URL over here. That's my Trading Paints. If you want to go on there and check out some of the designs I've done, things like that, then come check it out. And follow me if you like this kind of stuff, like designing liveries, and of course racing and driving with our leagues that I mentioned, the Meathead Sim Racing League, big league, 400 plus people. We all like to have fun respectfully, so hopefully we'll see you there.